All
Hey,
right, we
Garrett,
started.
Bro, I was still eating my M&Ms.
Huh. Welcome back to the Dorms podcast, everybody. First time for everyone because you guys are seeing our faces, and this is our first online podcast, so it's a little
Actual.
new. Our first actual like virtual podcast.
We haven't done
Yeah.
any content since I graduated and we left college.
Since like the beginning of May. It's been a
Yeah.
while, boys.
Wow, dude, it's almost been like 3 months, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months. Yeah.
Oh my
It's like
god.
1 week less than 3 months.
Well, I think it has been 3 months because I think we just stopped in the beginning of May,
Oh, yeah.
like May 1st, around there.
It's because we had a film festival.
We did have a film festival.
And
Oh,
I
I
was
guess
editing like 40 hours in the span of like 4 days.
that is the truth. I guess a little catching up is worth the time for a second. So if
Some of
you're
us
new to
were
the
completely
podcast, which I
different.
hope we're going to get some new viewers, in the top right corner, that's me. Hi, my name's Garrett. And then to the left of me is
Ben.
Mr. And then below him,
Which
That's
one's
Jay Slat.
below?
That's Schlatt.
Because we
That's
all have different
Miles.
views, Garrett.
So
No, we
right
don't.
there below me, below on this side
Uh-huh.
right here is Miles with the blue hat, and then next to him is Matthew.
Oh,
Not on my
Dude,
screen.
we should
yeah,
clickbait
we
this
all have
clickbait this
different
podcast where you keep saying
I
Jay
was not
Slat
aware
joined
of
our
that.
podcast.
So the brown skinned guy with the Spice Girls tee is Garrett. Batman dude is Ben.
Star Wars
Wood.
dude is me.
Yeah,
Right.
no one can tell you. Your room is too bright. All right. Anyways,
It's not bad.
so yeah, we've just been away from college, really doing summer stuff. But we thought before school starts back up for the three of us, since Ben graduated, let's lock in with the podcast. So we're here to just give our thoughts and a discussion on some of the top movies of the year and some of the most anticipated movies coming out the rest of the year. Since we're a little over halfway through, we should probably done this at the end of June, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? So yeah, that's really what we're just gonna talk about today. So I mean, without further ado, let's just
been
get
a good
into it. I
year.
guess it's been a pretty good year. There's been a lot of misses, a lot of
There's been a
misses,
few misses. There has.
but I think the good outweighs the bad.
Some
just by
things that didn't live up to the hype.
for sure.
definitely. I definitely hope no one heard my gulp because that was loud.
Nah, bro, you gotta make it as loud as possible.
No, that's disgusting.
You're a child.
Dude, there's no noise coming from my end on Matthew.
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, it didn't work
All
out
right.
like I wanted.
So I guess the best way to start this off is let's just talk about some of the best movies of the year.
Yeah.
Any ones in particular that stand out to you?
Do we want to start from the beginning of the year and go towards the middle, or?
Sure, I like that idea.
Wow,
Alright.
man. Wow.
So let's start off with
Matthew has an idea.
a banger
January.
in January with Scream 5.
Scream was good.
Scream
I
was.
liked it.
Oh, are we gonna do a rating system? Like out
That
of
would be a good idea.
usually how we do it. Usually how we do it, anyways.
I'll just look at my letterbox.
I do not
We'll
use
go-
Letterboxd enough.
I have not used that in a minute.
I use it every single time I finish a movie.
Of course,
I
you
try
can.
to.
I cannot. I don't know. But
It's
yeah,
become
Scream
habit.
5.
I-
Scream 5,
Scream
awesome.
5
It was a great movie.
I give it a 8.6.
I think it was a great addition to the film, to the Scream franchise. So I'll give it an 8.6 as well. Actually,
Miles has
scrap
seen
that
the other
8.5.
Screams. I haven't.
8.5.
Yeah, for somebody who's
8.7.
seen all the other horror movies in that genre, I would say it's one of the better ones for sure. I want to say top 3 of 5, if that's anything. I would say it's number 2 because it beats out Scream 4 for me and 2, and those are kind of okay-ish. The first one can't be beat. That's just a
Yeah.
no-brainer.
So
But
out of 10.
I'll say an 8.5.
Matthew.
I already said an 8.7.
Okay.
So an 8.6.
Roughly.
Yeah, 8,
Roughly.
6.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really good. I think the horror aspect is pretty lackluster. But Scream, you don't get crazy horror.
It's a
The kills were-
commentary on horror.
Yeah, the kills are all right, but I think what really makes that movie really good is just the overlying story. It's like two people want to become the OG Scream, and then it turns out everything really loops back around. It's pretty cool.
And the cast.
And yo, the
Cast
cast,
killed
yeah,
it.
of course, of course.
Jack Quaid.
I think if they don't have that cast, that's probably one of the worst ones. I think the cast adds a lot to it.
I
Okay.
also think I like the fact that they had the guts to kill off a legacy character like Dewey, because the other ones, like, they just seemed like immortal up until that point, and so that's why I don't like watching those kind of movies when these characters come back and they don't do anything with them. But with this one, Dewey actually had like a contributing part to like leading up to the ending, because without his death, there really isn't a reason for Gale and Sydney to come back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so without him, it's kind of just, where is everybody else?
Yeah, a good glue. Dewey was a good glue character for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the supporting actors like Dylan Minnette and I don't really care about them, so I
Jenna
don't really care
Ortega.
for. Well, Jenna Ortega was really not a supporting character. She was just there.
in the main role.
I was talking
Yeah.
more about like the twins or whatever,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
like that
Twins were cool.
supporting cast. They
were fun.
they did their performances well.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Not to mention,
All right.
starting it off with like a giant cast like that, like
Oh yeah.
really helped elevate this movie to like way higher. If as you said earlier, Garrett, if it didn't have that, I would rate it like maybe like a 5.
Yeah.
Honestly, the cast is what drew me to the movie because I had not watched Scream before besides the first one. But I love Dylan Minnette and I love Jack Quaid. So I showed up.
I don't know. I'm not. As of you, obviously, you guys know I'm not a big horror guy, so I wasn't really drawn to the movie. But I'd obviously seen the original Scream because it's kind of like a cult classic, and I was like, they brought the original cast back, and I enjoyed the first one. I really enjoyed Matthew Willard, so I'm like,
Mhm.
just in case he makes an appearance, I'll check it out. But yeah, and and Skeet Ulrich, like, come on, who doesn't like Skeet Ulrich? If you've seen Riverdale, you like Skeet Ulrich for like the first season.
Yeah, the good season.
Yeah, well, the okay season. Oh, and I
I'm
think Scream was also the perfect movie to open up the year
Mhm.
because I think for me at least, a general consensus of this year is big name casts coming back, horror elements, and just overall like pretty good storylines. Like obviously we'll get into it later. Jenna Ortega had a pretty big year this year. There was like
Several different
Jurassic World Dominion had more of the old guys come back. Obviously some other stuff with like Lightyear and blah blah blah, but I
It is
think so.
pretty interesting.
I think Scream was a good way to open up the year for movies too. It wasn't anything crazy hype, but it was also something that people were pretty excited about, and I think it did its job well. I think it did its job
It
well.
really helped the
Especially,
genre.
Oh, for
especially with
sure.
January, because January usually has bad movies and it's known for
Mm.
bad movies, but it had Scream and a few others that were good.
Hmm.
What else came out
The
in January?
Speaking of those other ones,
Matthew, what do we got?
What else came out in January? I have no idea.
Oh,
I haven't watched a lot of movies this year.
Not
You guys
not
know
a
that.
lot. There was like maybe 3
I
of
think
them, and I know that
X. Didn't X
Scream.
come out?
No,
I
that
can look
came
it
out
up.
like March, I
March,
thought.
yeah.
Like that came out like way like down over here.
No, Moonfall came out in February, right?
No
I
one
think
watched.
so. Yeah, March 18th is when X
Yeah,
came out.
you're right. Um, let's go to February. I don't think anything else came out in January.
February.
Nothing.
Wait, when did Uncharted come out?
Think
February.
Was it February? All right.
Yeah, it came out
Oh,
like
I
right
guess
with Death of
I
Dawn.
guess the Fallout did come out
the Fallout was
on
great. Underrated.
January.
Still need to watch it.
I think it's properly rated, just because there were so many standout films this year.
I don't know. I've only seen a couple people talk about it, so I feel like it got kind of swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I
But
guess I get what you mean.
Like when it
I,
first came out, it was like really big, and then just slowly died out because other films came out.
yeah,
Well, I think there's one movie in particular that was just extremely hyped up that it didn't matter whenever. Like the Fallout kind of just got screwed over where it got placed on release date because you had three movies that a lot of people were hyped up about, like the Batman, Death of the Nile, because people were excited about the sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express, and then Uncharted. even though it's like a video game movie, a lot of people are excited for that.
Yeah.
So I just don't think the fallout, like, it got. I think it hit the audience it needed to hit
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
It also doesn't help that it also was put onto streaming services and not in theaters, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot
Yeah,
of people don't have all the streaming services that we do, and so when
Right.
you go to, like, watch HBO Max or something, they're like, "Oh, I don't have that, so I'm not gonna go watch the movie." And so that's also probably what hurt it.
yeah,
I
and I
found
think when
myself
people
really enjoying it. I almost cried a couple times.
when I watched it, it gave me like all the Bright Places vibes, but just like not
Oh.
as depressing, not as depressing. It's not as depressing. It's depressing as hell, but
It's depressing in a different way
yeah,
because of what it's about.
a little off track. Did you guys watch that one movie? Ah, I can't remember the title of it, but it's got oh my god, can't think of the guy's name. But it's basically about these two guys who plan to kill each other.
Choose or die?
Is that it? Choose or die. It's
I don't
got
know.
it's got something. Seems like sorry. Okay, say the next movie and I'll figure it out.
Um,
Next
what else?
movie's Uncharted.
I didn't like it. I thought it was just
It,
okay.
yeah, it was a little underwhelming.
I give it
I mean,
a 6.5.
when we watched Uncharted in the theater, I'm not one to fall asleep during movies, but I passed out for, like, almost an hour of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was
I
that
bet.
boring to me. Like, it went nowhere after 20 minutes when that's when, like, it's supposed to be happening. He was still talking with Sully in their apartment
Yeah.
about the treasure, and I'm like, "Dude, you got, like, another hour left of this movie. You better, like, pick it up."
I think it
And
was
then
just
nothing
like
happened.
it's a movie you can throw on and you don't have to think too hard,
Yeah.
but it's not something I would purposely watch again.
Mm-mm.
Now if my mom or, like, anybody else like that was like, "Hey, do you wanna watch Uncharted?" I'll watch it, I guess. But, like,
Also, I give the Fallout an 8.4.
I give the Fall an 8.
I still need to watch it.
I found that one movie. It was called On the Count of Three. It's got Jared Carmichael, but if you haven't seen it, go watch that shit. Anyways, Uncharted. I watched the whole thing. I stayed up for the entire thing.
Same.
I
Yeah.
thought I thought it was good because I thought that it did well for a video game movie. And this is the point that I was getting across in college. Is like Jumanji, right? Like like not the OG one, but like the remake.
The new ones.
Exactly. That was a movie about a video game, but they tried to make it a movie about a video game, like in a movie, if that makes sense. Like they were giving these video game characters voices and their own personalities, which that doesn't happen in a video game.
Yeah.
So that's why that movie's garbage to me. But like Uncharted, it didn't do that. It strictly stuck to the video games, even though it kind of jumped around. It stayed on that path of just being a video game movie. So that gave me points because it's like, okay, it knew what it needed to do. It did it well. Was it great? Like, no, but like I told you guys, I was like, if I was on a date or if I was with the boys and it was on, I don't think I would turn it off. But I wouldn't personally turn it on because
Unless there was
I
something
did.
better on.
Well, you know what I mean, though. I'm not obviously there's always something better than Uncharted, but if it was on, I'm like, okay, this isn't bad.
Really?
I'd watch it.
No way.
but to be fair,
Nothing's better.
I viewed it like this, that if you take away the element of the video game, it's a pretty
It wouldn't be a
decent
bad movie,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, this guy these 2 dudes on a search for treasure, and one is also looking for his brother, but in the midst of this, they got basically Puss in Boots and a gang running after them and chasing them, which I'm like, "That's pretty cool," but if you add
hmm
the video game aspect, it just ruins it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
because people who've played the video games, such as people like me, they know what the video games are about, and they like the little
Yeah, same.
nods, but it doesn't also make a lot of sense throughout, I guess. It was just a pretty boring movie if you think about it as if it was a video game movie.
but
Yeah.
I also think whoever was writing it kind of took that into account. They're like, okay, I get this is where this is gonna go, because are they really gonna make what 4 Uncharted movies? No, no one's gonna want to watch 4 individual Uncharted movies. Especially like, let's say they do want to make 4 and the first one does bad. Obviously, they're gonna know that no one's gonna go want to watch the other 3 if this one was bad. You know what I mean? So I think they
Yeah.
kind of put that into account. Let's just throw it all into one and kind of just go at it that way. For me though, I give it a 7.5. I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay.
Very mediocre, right down the middle for me.
Yeah, I'll
Above
say 7.
average,
You give it a 7.5, Garrett?
I did 7.5.
I say a 7.2 because yeah, it's not a bad movie. It wasn't a video game, but it could have been better.
Definitely could have been better. I think honestly, I love Tom Holland. I don't think he was the right choice for it. His acting abilities are a little lackluster to me. I haven't seen him in too much other than like Spider-Man that I was like, oh, this guy's really good at acting.
Mhm.
He's good, but he's not great. And I think for a movie like that, like especially since they put Nathan Drake in the end, you're like, oh, you're like they put a nod to the guy, and then like it was like the acting, the performance was like pretty lackluster, and so was Mark Wahlberg, but that's just a different story.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, never mind. We're not even gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so overall consensus is what like a 7.3
I give
overall.
it
Yeah,
six
probably
five.
7.
A 6.5. Jesus, never mind. I
That's
think
a
that
I
drops it
good
was
down to about a
7.
7.
I was really bored, and there's like plot points that I really don't like because it just goes back on everything they just said 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they changed their mind instantly.
But I don't want to rant about it. We have other movies to talk about.
Yeah.
So we done talking about Uncharted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
All
anything
right.
All
else in
right.
February?
Next movie
Death
came
of
out
the.
in February, The Atom Project.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't.
it was
Dude,
enjoyable.
okay. Honestly, I came into it thinking, okay, it's gonna be like a whatever movie. I was honestly pleasantly surprised with this movie
Mhm.
because of just the little kid who plays like little Adam. He was really good in this movie. Like made me believe that he could be a young Ryan Reynolds.
It was a pretty wholesome movie.
That movie really like solidified Ryan Reynolds for me as a good actor.
It took you this long.
No.
I didn't see it.
I
Yes.
give it a
This one we're not talking a lot about because Garrett's not ranting.
8.2.
I
I'll say an 8. I
8.3.
think it's way better than Uncharted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way better.
Okay. What's
Next
next,
up,
Death,
Matthew?
The
Death on the.
Batman.
Oh no, we got to
Oh,
save the Batman. We got to get the other ones out of the way. You got Death on
Come
the
on.
Nile. We'd even talk about.
oh yeah, Death on the Nile.
Who saw
That
it?
movie was pretty
I
Mine.
mediocre.
did. Dude, honest to God, I didn't fall asleep during this one, but I called the 2 killers in the beginning. I guessed, and I just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go with this and see if it happened," and it did. It was just that predictable.
Watched it with my mom, and I was confused the whole time, and my mom was confused. I wasn't confused because I was like, well, I don't know who the killer is. I was like, what the hell's going on? I
I
was
didn't
like,
see it.
I was just, I was,
I didn't see it because I watched the first one, and I thought the first one was just
it,
lazy. I don't like the
see,
twist at the end.
I liked the Murder on the Orient Express, and then I was hoping that this was going to be like a nice addition to the franchise, but
And like
it's
spoilers
probably
from
like a
the
6
first
for me.
one, they're all the killer.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
was
it's
like a
not a who
6 for
done
me.
it, it's who didn't do it.
Did any of do
I
you and
didn't.
Ben and Matthew, do you plan on watching this movie at
No.
all?
No.
Okay, so the 2 killers in this movie are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're like the first 2 people we see, and they're in an argument basically saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and then they're always acting so suspicious with each other, and then like acting very mysterious towards other characters, and that's what's like, okay, you're the killers, even though they're not together anymore, and so it's
Y-
very
y-
predictable throughout the entire movie.
You know what pisses me off about this movie is like a movie like Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, which is supposed to be just a comedy. I had no idea who the killer was the entire time, and they played it off very well in that movie.
Butler did
In
it.
this one, in this one where it's supposed to be very mysterious, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I knew who it was. I was confused, but I was also just confused at the movie. I was like, really? Like looking back at it, like you just said, I was like, come on, like you
Mhm.
couldn't make it more obvious. So, on a critically acclaimed sequel like this, I just don't think it did. It didn't do justice for what it was supposed to. That's why I give it a 6.
I do
Yeah.
think the things that help this movie though are the scenic like areas of this movie because it's in Egypt and it looks phenomenal,
Yeah, the
and the
rock scene.
acting is
Yeah,
probably I want to say the best part. The story is pretty lazy though. It's
that
kind of
There's a
one
sad.
rock
cannibal in it.
scene.
Oh yeah, that was intense.
All right.
All right, what's next, Matthew?
I don't
The
know. You have majority of the. I only have the movies I've seen.
Oh, I thought you had a list of like the order things came out.
No,
Yeah, that's what I was
I can
assuming.
try and find one. Let me
I
try and
mean-
find one
can.
quick.
I think we should just go through the list. I don't think it matters about release date anymore.
Yeah.
As long as you get through the movies.
Yeah.
Well, I already
Um,
heard the Batman.
You guys want to talk about the Batman?
Of course,
wanna
we
talk
want
about
to
the
talk
Batman.
about. Of course, we want
Definitely
to talk
wanna
about the Batman.
It's a 9-4.
A 9.
Oh, you changed your rating.
Yeah.
Oh
Wait,
no, no.
wasn't it like
I had
what
a
was your
9-6.
original
Now it's a
rating?
9-4.
And like,
Yeah.
wait, what made you drop it a little bit by like 2 points?
I think the rewatchability factor of it isn't as strong because it's a very long movie. You got to be in the mood to watch it, but doesn't mean it's not a great movie. I just think the rewatchability is tougher than other movies.
I agree 100%, and that's why my rating is a 9.3.
But as a massive Batman fan, as you can tell, it's exactly what I wanted from a Batman movie. I want a detective story, cool villains, a dope Batman, and that's exactly what I got. And Matt Reeves was born to direct Batman.
Oh yeah.
The cinematography in that movie is amazing.
I think that's what makes the movie like so appealing to me. And I think I've made this point pretty known to you guys already. Is like without the cinematography and how beautiful looking that movie is to me, I think it's a pretty plain detective story. Like I still think Robert Pattinson kills his role as
Mhm.
Batman, and I still think he's the second best Batman. Hot take, but I think without the cinematography and how beautiful that movie looks, it's just a pretty plain Batman detective story. I still think it's the second best Batman movie ever.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as good. I think without that, it's probably in like the 9, 8, 9 range.
I think everyone compares it to The Dark Knight, and like I have too, and I love The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight is a better film if you just take away the names of Batman and Joker. I think you still have really compelling characters. But I think the Batman is a Batman movie like through and through.
Oh, agreed.
It's a complete comic book movie.
Agreed. And I think the Riddler makes that movie, man. He really does.
Oh yeah, they could not have picked a better actor for the Riddler, dude. He was creepy as hell in this
He
movie.
he is pretty wild in this movie. It was Paul Dano, right? Is that the name? Paul
Yeah.
Dano?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him because he was like sadistic, but he was also goofy at the same time. Like the whole thumb drive riddle.
Which is
It's
literally
goofy,
just
but
like
it's
Riddler.
crazy.
He's literally just a goofy, psychotic dude.
Yeah. Wearing a plastic bag on his head.
But what about? Oh my God.
Joker?
No. Jim
Penguin?
Carrey's Riddler.
Did
Fuck Jim Carrey.
you say fuck Jim Carrey?
No.
No, I said I love Jim Carrey.
I thought he said fuck Jim Carrey.
The Batman for me was
Bro,
a 9
imagine.
out of 9.7 out of 10.
That's
Damn.
wild.
That's
Have you
really,
seen
really
this,
high.
Garrett?
If he
I
likes it, he
know,
likes
and
it.
I say it every time. That's wild. A 9.7. That's almost a perfect film.
Mm-hmm. Dude, this movie is the best one of the year so far.
So why is
That's
it not perfect?
Because it's not perfect exactly.
Oh
What,
wow,
okay.
thank you for the
It's
explanation.
not a perfect film.
I mean,
What
the
makes it
question
not
is like,
perfect?
why not 0.3 more?
Because yes, it's a little drawn out,
Mm-hmm.
and
Agreed.
then at some points, especially at some points, like more towards the end of the film. Fuck. And then, dude, that's really.
That's it.
I haven't watched that movie. Dude, my mind is blank.
Dude,
for
I
movies.
think the rewatchability factor automatically drops it points. Like like Ben was saying, just like comparing it to The Dark Knight. I've seen The Dark Knight so many times, and like Ben said, it's just because it's an overall great film.
Yeah.
Like you can watch that film, you can get so many different ideas from it. With the Batman, it's like you
You're getting
can't watch it.
ideas from The
Like
Dark Knight? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I'm gonna keep that thought to myself. But
This
with
was
the
his Joker
Batman,
moment.
with the Batman, when you watch it, you're only watching the Batman story, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm seeing this from the Riddler's perspective, it's it's the Batman's perspective, but like with the
Right.
Dark Knight, you can look at it from a bunch of different perspectives, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Dark Knight is so rewatchable. And the Batman
Yeah.
doesn't have a rewatchability factor because, like you said, it takes a while for the movie to get going, but when it does, it picks up pretty fast. So I think it has a lot of dry moments too. Like there's a lot of
Mhm.
points where when we were watching what Valcone, anytime Valcone was on the screen, I was ready to like I was like, come on, man, like this guy's boring.
I
His
loved him.
character's really his character's drawn out to me. And I didn't like the I mean, I don't know if it's comic book accurate or not, but like the Catwoman being his daughter, I'm not sure if that's completely
It
accurate or
is.
not, but
It is in one story.
I just was like, I don't know. I just didn't like the way they tried to connect every little thing to
Mm.
everything else, if you get what I mean. But I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not a comic book guy, so I think
I'm with
those
Matthew.
three.
It's my favorite movie of the year, but I'm 100% biased because Batman's my favorite fictional character.
See, he's not mine, but still the
But
best movie
I,
of the year.
I see the faults in the movie, but I still love it
Yeah.
because it's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for me, the problem with this movie is initially when I first watched it, it had to take me a little time to figure out what I didn't like about it because you guys had asked me like, "What's your rating of it?" I'm like, "I don't know yet because I can't figure out what I don't like about it." But I think for me, the ending, like it could have ended at so many different points that it just kept feeling weaker and weaker
Hmm.
as it kept going on. So I'm like, is it ever going to end? And so that's why I'm probably it's more for me. It's like I think it's a 9, just a straight up 9.
Yeah.
It could have been a little shorter because again, you guys saying rewatchability factor is 100% true. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a 3-hour long Batman movie just because it's a really good movie,
I don't think
unless
Me,
the
I
me and
am in the right mindset to do so.
I don't think the
me and Miles.
runtime is what like drags it for me. I think it's the pacing. The pacing gets
Yeah,
dry at points
Oh yeah,
like it
because
goes super fast and then drops.
you watch Endgame. That's a 3-hour movie too, but it doesn't feel like a 3-hour movie because the pacing is very quick in that movie. This one's a
but
very
for
Yep.
slow detective story, and sometimes it gets slower than a detective story, which makes it feel like 3 hours. Because even the
Uh,
first time I watched it, I was like, it's kind of long, but
I think for me,
yeah.
when we were watching it, it reminded me a lot of how I felt with Dune because we were watching Dune
Oh
and
no,
Hmm.
that one felt like
we were
4
all sitting next
hours.
to each other, and it was like, how long is this movie? You're like 2.5 hours. I'm like, this feels like I'm in the movie theater for like 4. It
Dune's
was
yeah,
pacing
so
is
slow.
so slow.
I was asleep for an hour of Dune and woke up, and I still thought
You
we
were.
just started it. But see, me and Miles had a conversation about the ending of Batman, like when we watched it, because obviously you guys had your ideas, and I was just talking to Miles, and
Mhm.
and me and Miles agreed that after he defeats the Riddler, and like we see like the prison scene, we're like, okay, that's the perfect way to end the movie. And then we see him talk to Catwoman, we're like, okay, that's a good addition to it. And then it just drags, and then it drags, and then he kisses her goodbye or whatever, and she says she's going to Bloodhaven, and then they drive together again, and I was like, come on, like that's
Yeah.
so unnecessary. It's good to add, like you're continuing their love story. We understand that later he's gonna go back to Bloodhaven, but like you could have seen that in the next film, and I think that just I think you could have shaved off at least those last 10 minutes. And I was just like,
Yeah.
mm.
We've
But I
also
think
done a
this
whole
movie.
podcast on the Batman.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to see us go in more depth about it, go check out that
Like
episode because
freshen our minds. Yeah, that's way better than the
yeah,
last
Didn't we
it's
film it
way
like the
better.
day
5
after we
minutes
had
of
all watched it together?
think so.
I'm not sure. Damn, I just broke my fucking nail.
yeah, instead of watching us like try and talk about it
Ramble.
5 months after.
Yeah.
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 See,
Make
if you
All right.
don't, if you want
Let's
to
go to the
see
next
us,
movie.
the same
yeah.
week.
What's the next one?
The next movie that came out in March was Fresh.
Fresh was good.
Oh,
Oh,
I was surprised.
It is not what I
dude,
thought at first until
Fresh
Dave's
can.
like, "Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cannibal movie." I'm like, "What?"
I
I
completely
remember me and
forgot you
Matthew
guys were
were
watching
very.
it, and I was like, yo, this is a horror movie. And they're like, what?
I
Did you
we
see the
were very
cover of the movie?
confused. No, I was pleasantly surprised. I would give Fresh
8-4.
8.7, 8.7, 8.7.
8-5.
okay. So I had watched it recently because when you guys were watching, I had to leave and I didn't get to finish it. And so when I did watch it recently, I was actually pleasantly surprised because
Dude,
Sebastian Stan really just plays heroes a lot of the time, and when he plays a
yeah,
villain, it's kind of creepy.
terrifying.
Mhm.
And so when I'm watching this, I'm like, holy crap, this guy is actually terrifying, but not in the
He was
way of like
creepy, but likable.
Yeah.
that's what was
Like,
creepy
he was
about
a
him is
nice
that
dude.
you can totally picture him being like somebody's friend that you know,
Like, I
but like
saw
not
him
knowing
I
that
saw
side of him.
myself in him, you know?
Cannibal.
Hey,
No, but
Man,
just I
this
think
movie.
this what was the scene in the kitchen when the main lady and him are talking and they're eating that lady's like chest
Yeah.
and I'm what the fuck? And they're just having a casual conversation about it. I'm like, yeah, this is like fucked up.
It's sadistic, bro.
it
It,
is.
like, and the part about it is like it's one of those psychological horrors where you're like, oh, that's some real shit. Like that
Mhm.
actually happens. Because like he's like casually talking, he's like, I just fucking cut bitches' eyes out and I
He's
eat
chill
them and
about it.
stuff like that. And he's like, and like I'm like watching it, and I'm like, this guy isn't like giving like a creepy monologue. He's just over here just like, you want some wine? Like you could throw on a movie. Like I feel like that's how his character would react to everything. He'd be like, I just slaughtered someone, but like, the new Young
Mhm.
Justice episode dropped. Let's watch it. He's like, what, bro? You know what I mean? That's exactly how he would react. And I think that's what made this movie so much better for me is because Sebastian Stan really freaked me out the whole
Yep.
time. I was like, is he acting? Are we watching a documentary? What is going on? He was freaky, man. And whoever, I'm not sure, I forget the young lady's name, but whoever was the main
Yeah.
actress, she killed it too.
Mhm.
She really played her role well. Yeah, I think the way they, and like you said, man, like we were watching it and like you figure out that he's a cannibal, and I was like, would have never guessed it.
Yep.
Never would have thought.
Dude,
Dude
just
had a
the way he acts in the beginning of the movie with her in the grocery store talking about grapes, I'm like, oh, he's a likable guy. This makes sense. And
Yeah.
at the end, before they kill him off, and he's just calling them bitches and like calling them slurs, I'm like, yo, this is not the same dude from the beginning of the movie. This is like fucking creepy.
Ain't Bucky.
Good old
yeah,
Winter
Bucky.
Soldier just turned into a cannibal.
freaking me out,
Alright,
man.
what about I think X is next.
Yes.
I've not
Still
seen it.
haven't seen it.
Am I the only one that's seen it?
Yeah.
I'm
You wanna
pretty
watch
It's
sure.
it's
it?
fire.
You want to watch it together?
Actually, I'm down. Fuck it.
It's a porn movie, so
They just trying to make a
You don't
snuff
have to say
film.
it like that. You
That's
don't have
okay.
to say it's
To
a
be fair, they're
slasher
just
horror movie.
it's a slasher horror movie where they're trying to make a snuff film and they get killed off. That's literally what happens in the movie.
Man, if you just
So what I'm
advertised it as something completely different.
so what I'm hearing is it's nice guys but horror.
yeah.
No.
Nah, I was making a joke. I've seen the trailer. I
So
watched a
But
little bit of it today.
I'll give it an 8-7. It was pretty good. I liked it.
All right,
Good slasher
8-7.
movie.
anything else about it, Ben?
No, you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I don't
what?
want to spoil
Why would he
anything.
talk about it?
Okay,
Dumbass.
everything everywhere all at once.
You skipped one, Ben.
What did he skip?
He skipped Deep Water.
Nobody
Garrett,
told him
Oh,
to
Garrett,
scare
tell
it.
us how bad it is.
dog, shit. All right, you want to talk about just a fucking porn movie? Let's talk about just a fucking porn movie. And oh man, okay, I'm not even gonna go in depth about it. This movie is a solid 5.5. No, I'm just kidding. It's like a 5. It's trash. It's garbage. Like
Mhm.
it's bad. I don't know what to say about it. And I love Ana de Armas so much, and she played her character well, and Ben Affleck did too. But the plot, the writing, the characters, the character development, everything about this movie, from the intro to the ending, I was like, this is garbage. This should never have been put on screen. And I feel so bad that Ane was like, this is a movie I want to do, because then she couldn't pull out of it. But probably the worst Hulu release of this year.
Fair enough.
Oh, dude, we forgot to put Atlanta on the TV show.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that one.
Well,
But yeah,
has
Deep
Ben
Water.
finished it, or because you're the
Oh
only
yeah,
one
I've
who's
seen all of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love
Deepwater.
Atlanta.
But
Okay.
all right,
Everything everywhere all at
Alright.
once. This
I
movie's
didn't
been
see it.
talked to death because it's so good.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's
Haven't seen it
so
yet.
It's a
fucking
9.
great.
It's a 9-3.
Dude, for me, it's a 9.5.
Yeah, great.
The only reason it's not a perfect 10 is because the ending is so lackluster. Like, right before the big climax happens,
The everything
that's
bagel.
yeah, it's funny. It's funny for the movie.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cringy when you think about it hard enough. But Honestly, the acting and just the way time travel works in this movie is phenomenal.
In the
It
multiverse.
was it was oh yeah, my bad, not time travel, the multiverse.
Yeah,
It is great.
it's great.
I don't know. I just
That's
haven't
why I
got
think.
around to it yet. The hype was so big. When I was going on my TikTok feed, that's all I was seeing, and I was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Even now, people always talk about it.
yeah. I'll get around to it eventually. I just gotta let that. I gotta let
Same.
that the hype die down a little bit, so I can really.
Right.
Because I don't want to go in there with like high standards, being like, okay, this movie better be great. Because at least with me, every time I do that, the movie's always bad. Even if it's good, it's still bad, because it's not as
Yeah.
great as everyone says it is.
All
But yeah, I'll
right.
get around to it.
The Northman.
Did anyone watch Ambulance or Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
No.
No one know.
No,
All right.
The
Fantastic
Northman.
Beasts.
I watched it.
Miles did.
It was
Andrew.
Okay, I can tell you this right now. Is it a good Harry Potter movie? No.
Fuck no.
Is it a good Fantastic Beasts movie? Confidently, yeah, I can say
It's
that.
the
The
best.
second it's the best one because just the way the world is
Even
built
better
up
than
in
the
this
first.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not by a lot, but yeah. I would say that the second one is like an 8.3. The
Mhm.
first one is like an 8.7, and this one's about like an 8.8. Like it's right there.
Those are
And
high.
only reason, yeah, I think they're high just because Matt Mikkelsen's Grindelwald is awesome. Dumbledore is awesome in this, and obviously you guys know when he comes out gay, they came out with him being gay the perfect way. He didn't just say, "Hey guys, I'm gay." Like the way he
Mhm.
came out was awesome. The action is really cool. I liked it all around. There wasn't anything special about it. I just think it fit the series really well, and it was just an enjoyable movie.
I do think though that the problem I had with this movie is that the inclusion in Newt Lily could have just not been a part of the movie because he does almost nothing until the very end when
Yeah.
he like has to save this special animal because he's the fantastic beast herder.
Yep.
The thing is like with I think if you don't add Newt into this could have just been a solo film.
Mhm.
It really could have just been Secrets of Dumbledore, but the only reason it is Fantastic Beasts is because Newt has to be involved with the thing, and I think that's why that he's even in the movie. It's because they're like, okay, if we're gonna
Because it's
put
the
this in a
name of the
friend,
series.
exactly. It's like you can't have Fantastic Beasts and then not have the one guy in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if this was a solo film, I think they could have expanded on this even more. But since it's a Fantastic Beasts, it can only go so far. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but as you were
good.
saying, Garrett, Grindelwald, Mad Mikkelsen is so much better as
Yeah,
Grindelwald. Johnny Depp is a good actor, don't get me wrong, but the way Mads Mikkelsen portrayed him in this movie, he seemed more like a tyrant, but like he was confident enough and suave to let people and make people believe him, and that's what
Mhm.
the,
like was terrifying.
Johnny Depp's Grindelwald, it almost just made you feel like he was playing the character, which Johnny Depp does not really do. He usually feels like he is that guy, like Jack Sparrow and Edward Scissorhands, Willy Wonka. Like you never really think, oh, it's Johnny Depp. But with this one, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, he's playing Grindelwald. And with Mads Mikkelsen, I was like, oh, like this guy's like a this guy. I felt like I was getting swooned by this dude, and then he was gonna kill me with some magic powers. Like he played it that well. So I agree. No, that's that
Anything
one.
else
8.5.
on it? Did you give your rating, Garrett?
I think maybe an 8.8's a little high. I think I'll drop it like 8.5. 8.8 was a little high.
Okay.
I
All
think it's
right.
just because I love Harry Potter so much.
Did any of you guys watch The Bad Guys?
Yeah, I did.
20
I did
minutes.
not.
I watched it with my mother. It's alright. Good animation movie. Probably top 3 of the year. It's like an 8, somewhere in there. It's not bad. Pretty funny.
Okay.
Good comedy.
The Northman.
Yep. Haven't watched it yet, so
So
I
good.
haven't
Nine,
watched it yet.
9.6.
Didn't we plan to
Nine.
watch it right before we had left for school? But then we just all had like we didn't have time to do it after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'd give it an
Unfortunate.
8-9.
9.6.
I
That's a
loved it.
huge jump. Oh man, dude, the movie is so. Ah, oh, I wish you two would have
Lion
seen it,
King
bro.
with
Because I want to.
Vikings.
It is Lion King with Vikings, but it's so much
Because
more,
it's
bro.
just Hamlet. It's Hamlet with
It's so
Vikings.
much more. It's so
It's
much
so good.
more.
The action is crazy.
It's
Skarsgård killed
phenomenal.
it.
So
Anya Taylor-Joy killed it, but she always does.
Anya, oh
Did she always kills it, no matter what
yeah,
she does.
Nicole Kidman scared the shit out of me, bro. Bro, she looks like a skeleton in this movie, bro. She doesn't look real. It's fucking gross. Man, this movie is just so good. It's
I,
it's one of
I
those
can tell you
movies
it's
like
not for everyone though.
so yeah, it's definitely not. You guys remember the movie King with Timothy Chalamet and Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
It has a heavy vibe like that, but just way more gritty and dark, and like it almost make it like when I was watching it, I was like, oh this shit's different because it's like there's like there's no nothing in this movie ever happy happy ever happens. Like even if like the one thing with like Anya and him, right?
Yeah.
Even then, that shit's not happy.
It's
Like there's
everything
not
gets happy for like 2 seconds, and then you're like, oh, this is what it actually means.
yeah, even if something is it has like a happy after effect, something within that parameters is bad. Like this
It's like, oh, I
movie,
found my mom. It's like, oh, I found my mom.
mm, exactly, or like, oh, we're kinfolk. Oh, kinfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just dark. In a it makes at least when I was watching it, it made me like itch. Like I
Yeah,
felt dirty. I felt dirty
it's
watching it.
gross.
Yeah, I felt dirty watching it, especially because it's like in like the later half of AD, so toothpaste never existed. Like all these modern day inventions. So it's just man walking through mud in Iceland, dirty for
Yep.
years. It's like, ugh. And then there's this one scene which is not a spoiler, but like after you got obviously like he has to go and avenge his father, but he's like rowing this boat and
Mm-hmm.
he's saying like I'm gonna avenge my father, save my mother, and kill this guy. You see it like transition to him years later, and he's like
Still
rowing this
doing
boat
it.
with a bunch of these. Yeah, he's rowing this boat with a bunch of these men, and you see this kid and this dad just get slaughtered with bow and arrows, and his facial expression doesn't change because he's
Mm-hmm.
seen
You
what
know,
real murder's like, and I think that's what adds to the movie is like he could have like saw that and be like, oh, like okay, then this guy's like, but he's like, it's real, and then it just progressively gets more intense until literally until the last frame of this movie. It's from start to beginning. It's intense. That's all it really is. This movie. That's why it's maybe a 9.6 is a little high. I'll say like a 9.3. I think it's just because it's literally so fresh in my head. I just watched it 2 hours ago
yeah.
or three now.
All right, Doctor
Yeah.
Strange.
You just gonna skip
Okay,
over the
hold up.
unbearable weight of massive talent, Ben?
Nobody
No
watched
one
that.
watched it. I'm gonna watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, for Doctor Strange, it
Doctor
wasn't a bad movie. Was it the best
Multiverse of
MCU movie?
Badass.
No.
It's not
Was
a
it the
bad
worst?
movie.
By far, no. It is a decent sequel to the first movie. And I like how it deals with the multiverse, but I think Everything Everywhere All at Once did it better.
Yeah,
Simple
I
as
would
that.
agree. I found the movie the word I come up with is lazy because I felt like
Only three universes?
they had the opportunity to do so much and they just didn't commit to all of their ideas. And so I found the movie just like not at its full potential. And I know people are gonna say you're just mad there's no cameos. I don't care.
It
I don't care if
doesn't
there
help
wasn't any cameos. It just was boring to me.
it doesn't help that directors changed so much like for this movie, so it was hard for them to stick to one storyline.
Oh, you mean the writers?
I do
No,
think.
director too. Like they changed
Oh yeah,
directors
because
like
Sam
four
Raimi said
times.
like Kevin Feige said that Sam Raimi had like changed quite a bit of the script like throughout this movie. I do think Sam Raimi is a good director though. Like we've
But
seen
for a
this with
Marvel movie,
Spider-Man 1 through 3,
Ugh.
Evil Dead 1 through 3, and it's just a shame that he got to be in an MCU like in the MCU, but his movie got like panned across the board saying it was kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I honestly expected being Sam Raimi that it would have been like over the top and crazy, but obviously with the MCU you can't do that. I'm glad for what we got because that was still terrifying for some bits of it, but overall it was kind of whatever. I'm not gonna
Mm,
watch it again if unless I'm like forced to watch it.
Give it a
I've only
7.6.
7-4.
I've only seen like
7.5.
45% of it. I watched it with my
Yeah.
mom. I got to that like the Illuminati scene. I was like, man, this is ass, and just left.
hmm
That's about all I got to.
I think the
So
problem is though is that after like that point hits and they kill off the Illuminati,
yeah.
it could have ended in like 10 minutes is the problem. They stretch
Yeah.
it out for like another 30 so minutes. It felt like, but it didn't need to be like that. Is the problem?
Um, what's next, Matthew?
Firestarter. I think I'm the only one who watched it.
I
Yeah, and
watched
you're the
part
only
of
one that
it.
likes
It was
it.
ass.
It wasn't that bad, bro. It was an 8, like 0.2.
What?
That's pretty damn high. I think the highest
Sure.
rating I've seen is like a 6.
Hey, dude, you know what like Chernobyl looks like?
No.
What the
That's
Why are
fuck?
you bringing up Chernobyl?
think about it though. Okay, you know how like disgusting Chernobyl looks? Like how
I'm not sure
disgusting things
Matthew
look in
knows what Chernobyl.
Chernobyl?
I don't think Matthew knows what
Matthew.
Chernobyl is.
Matthew, you know what the Rotten Tomato score for Firestarter is?
11.
I think it's
10.
like a 70, isn't it?
It's a
It's a
10.
10. It's 10%, bro.
Is
So
that from
close.
critics or like audience?
Dude,
That's
audience
Rotten
is probably like
Tomatoes as a
0.
score. Audience is 60%.
Dude, that's
I
almost
enjoyed it
half.
though. Like
I'm glad you enjoyed it, but you're the
I
only
was
one that did.
literally glued to the screen the whole time
You
watching
might
it.
be in the minority.
He
Dude,
is
I
in the
watched the
minority,
first
but I'm glad you
10
liked it.
minutes. I watched the first like 10, 20 minutes and I'm like, what am I watching? So I just went and left.
Doesn't it
Yeah.
suck that Zac Efron always gets the shittiest fucking movies?
Like
The
Gold.
dude's such a good. He's such
Wait,
a
yeah,
good
didn't
actor
Gold
too.
come out this year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
None of us
We
watched
watched
dude's
it.
such.
No, we watched the
Dude's
movie.
such a good
You remember
actor.
the trailer? We watched
Yeah,
it.
we
I'm
we
sorry, it was
watched.
2 minutes
Oh, I
long.
remember that
We
night.
watched the movie like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
That trailer.
Man, that
Okay,
movie was so bad.
you guys want to talk about Moon Knight for show?
Yes.
Midnight.
It is
I will
not.
admit I don't like the first 2 episodes. I thought the first 2 episodes were boring, and then it really picks up, and then it gives me exactly what I wanted from a Moon Knight show because it adapted my favorite Moon Knight story.
I think for what like after Layla came along and it's like, hey, I'm this person, and then like jumps into like crazy territory of like the split personalities, that's when it starts getting really cool and all that other stuff. I will admit the first episode I was like, what am I watching? Like this
Give it
doesn't make any sense.
an 8
But then
4.
I'll say
Give
an
it an
8.
8.
I thought the beginning was mid, even when we watched it in the hotel, and you guys know how excited I was for Moon Knight.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
just like,
ecstatic for it.
I was watching, it, I
I,
was like, it's
I
Oscar
think I
Isaac. I
fell.
love Oscar Isaac. And then, well, we watched it at 1 a.m. in
I think I fell asleep.
we were in Spokane at that time,
Yeah.
and
We
then
were.
it was like boring, and it was like,
Yeah. It took off quick after like halfway through episode 2, I would say.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think I fell asleep the first episode.
I think I did too, because I think it was
you guys
Yeah.
did.
the factor of us watching it at 1 o'clock in the morning, but also because nothing really happens until the end of the episode. Like if
Mhm.
you really think about it, like it's about Stephen Grant's like day-to-day life, but then like, oh no, Ethan Hawke comes along. Ah, Demon Dog.
It's
The
all right.
suits though? The suits though?
I
Two,
think for me, what 6 episodes long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I really only like the last 2, 3. I like the last 3. 4, 5, and 6 are really good.
yeah.
That's about it for
Yeah,
me.
whenever he
Like,
like finds that little trinket of Ahmet,
yeah.
then after that point I'm like, yep, I'm
Little
fully
action piece.
Oh,
invested.
but the CGI in the show is so garbage. It's so bad.
Only at
I
certain
would.
parts, like the log scene.
Well, even that one the suit transformation where he's sitting there, he's like, yeah, it's so bad. Like you can see it, like it pixelate up all his body. I was watching this one guy like talk about it, and he was breaking it down frame by frame, like doing that period thing on the computer, and you can see like all the choppy frames. And I was like, damn.
I mean, to
I
be
like
fair,
his.
did you see the article about how Marvel, like VFX artists, are like quitting because of
I
how
feel so
Marvel is
bad.
pressuring them to like
I
Yeah.
push
feel
out
so bad.
content and like it's like because they said it's unreasonable deadline. So I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, like an
Yeah.
entire phase in a year.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
like
to be fair,
12
didn't like the
projects in a
first,
year.
yeah,
Hey,
like
Marvel's doing
because
more quantity than quality currently. That's why
They are
DC's on top.
honestly.
it's kind of sad.
Hot take. DC's
I
on
would agree.
top because they're doing quality over quantity.
Marvel has had 2 big budget movies this year, and DC beat them in 1. Marvel has had, what is it? About to have 3 big budget TV shows this year, and Peacemaker beat them in 1.
I think it's
And
because
all
DC actually
3 of the
cares and they give time to their like people, and if they need to push it back, they will. Marvel's like, no, we got to push it out right now.
Yep.
Which I'm like, understandable, but we don't need to see like 10 to 12 projects per year. I was fine with like the 1 to 3 we were getting at all.
Yeah.
I guess COVID
Yeah.
did really fuck it up,
That's a whole
though.
MCU discussion.
Yeah. But midnight 8.
Give it a
8.7.
8.4.
I'll
But
still
I'm
say 8.
biased because I love Moon Knight.
So 8.5.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, next up is Chip and Dale.
Fire.
I was honestly pleasantly surprised with this movie because I was making a joke
It's so
TikTok
much
about
fun.
it. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie and like I'll rate it afterwards. It was honestly pretty good. I don't like John Mulaney that much, but I found him quite funny in this
I
movie.
love John Mulaney.
I haven't watched it yet. So.
The movie is so fun. Like, it's a kid's movie, obviously, but there's so much for you to enjoy as an adult. Yes, I'm
Ugly
an adult.
Sonic.
Yeah. What's
Men.
next, Manny? Didn't watch it.
None of us watched it.
What was it?
All right.
Miles,
Men.
do you like Men?
I didn't
Oh.
watch it. I haven't even I haven't watched a lot
You
of
don't like
their
Men?
movies.
I enjoy
You don't
Men.
like Men?
All right. Next up is Top Gun Maverick. Then I
Big
haven't
deal.
seen it, so it's up to you three.
Haven't
Oh
seen it.
my god. Top Gun Maverick, probably a top contender for this year so far. It is so good.
Okay, hold on. Where's it out on my list? I think I have it 3. I have it 3, yeah.
I haven't ranked them, but I think it's definitely like 1 or 2 for me. It's
I have
really
it 3,
good.
but my top 3 are all interchangeable. I have it 3, but I've seen this movie twice. Saw it in theaters twice. Had to. Movie is so damn good. So damn good. It's literally a perfect addition to the sequel, like the original.
Mhm.
Literally for the
I haven't-
first 5. Have you seen the original, Ben?
No, that's why I haven't seen the sequel yet. I wanted to watch the first one.
Well, a little heads up. The first 5 minutes of the second is literally copy of the first one, which is so good. So good. Yeah, I don't. Miles Teller plays a perfect
Rooster?
son of Goose. Rooster. Yep. I mean, soundtrack, acting, my God, like Hangman, perfect villain.
Yeah, Glenn Powell
Bro,
is
Gun
a
Powell's
phenomenal
awesome.
actor.
Tom Cruise
Hashtag
kills it like
Human
he
Torch.
always does. And they filmed all of the scenes in the F-18s, actually in the F-18s.
Yeah.
Which I thought was awesome. And they had all the actual actors go through flight training so they could go through 0 Gs. Like they didn't make this movie lackluster, and that's why I'm so happy they put this movie on the shelf for the amount of years they did. Because like imagine watching this movie at home in the theaters. Like I'm so glad I got to hear like those F-18 in my ears in the theater. Like it just made the experience so much better. Yeah, like it's a strong 9.3 for me. Actually 9.4 probably. Yeah,
I'm
9.3,
definitely gonna
9.4.
say an 8.9, only because I do think that there's a weird editing choice near the end for me, but that's okay.
Oh, I also think the storyline. I think the storyline is what made this movie so much better. Is because in the original, you've seen the original, Miles, obviously, right?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay,
it a long
okay,
time ago.
okay. So with the original, right, the storyline is very just like Tom Cruise's character, blah blah blah, wants to become like Top Gun or whatever. So it's like when you come into this one, you're like, okay, how are they gonna what's the storyline for this one? And then when you figure out what it is, and people, it's hard to explain without you guys watching it. But yeah, it's just a perfect storyline to have to it, and the on-screen chemistry for all of the actors made it so much better because I feel like if any of those characters were even a little bit just awkward on the screen, it would have took away from it. Like they all felt like they were really just a bunch of people in the military hanging out. And as me and Matthew have a bunch of buddies in the military, that's exactly how they act. Just people drinking, having fun, playing
Guys
pool.
being dudes.
And one chick. Don't forget the chick. She's Phoenix. She was like that for. All right,
Then you got Bob.
bro. Bob's a G.
Bob's the goat. Bob's the goat in this movie, though.
He looks like Paul Dano.
All right. And next up is Jurassic World Dominion.
Didn't watch
Haven't
it.
seen it. Don't care.
It was not a bad movie. It's slept on, especially by Garrett.
But
And everyone.
cheeks.
No.
Everyone doesn't like it.
I'll explain why this movie is
I
bad
work
in
at a
my
movie
opinion.
theater and I've had like 30 people tell, like after the movie be like, that movie was actually pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good isn't good though.
But do they analyze the movie like we do, Matthew? I didn't think so.
Bugs.
No.
All right.
Dinosaur.
If we're gonna be completely honest, right? Chris Pratt
Bugs.
is a mediocre actor already as it is, and I don't want to watch Chris Pratt on the screen do this for 2.5 hours. I've already seen 11 do that on the screen. I don't need to see him do it. So he's doing that, right? Um, all the OG actors, mediocre performances. They're not great actors back in the 80s, 90s, whenever that movie came out, and they're pretty mediocre now.
Leave Jeff
That's
Goldblum alone.
Hot take.
a, that's a stupid hot take. I know it is, but when you watch that movie, I'm not like, oh, their acting performances do not stand out. The only acting performance in that movie that I think is a standout role is the fucking dinosaurs.
They're not even real.
Like, I can already tell you how they sat down in the writers' room. Or like, how do we make a movie where we can make a
Bugs.
full circle moment with the OG and the new G, put them together? She's like, it's, and the
I've heard
storyline's not
everyone's
good.
complained about Bugs. Like the
Oh, like in the
movie,
movie?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I think
Like the
that was
whole story
obvious.
revolves around a bug.
It
I
does.
didn't watch it.
It does.
Dude, you can probably
Basically,
summarize it in like one sentence. The original crew has to come back to help them put the dinosaurs back in their cages, pretty
no,
much.
Nope.
it's
Not at all?
literally a
No.
bug,
A bug.
So,
a bug.
giant
Oh,
grasshoppers are starting to like destroy crops across the United States.
Locusts.
Locusts, yeah. Because a
Locusts.
company like created it to destroy plants that aren't their own. And
Dude, that's so
yeah.
Why is that
boring.
a plot point in a dinosaur movie?
and the one girl from the OG, right? She wants to discover it more, so she gets the other guy, the what's his name, Alan? I think that's his name, Alan.
Alan, the
Yeah, Alan.
goat.
They
Alan
get,
Grant.
they're like, she's like, Alan, we need you, and then the only reason that the new guys are even at this location is because this
Chris
one dude,
Pratt's and what is her name, stepdaughter gets kidnapped, or not?
yeah, and the only reason she gets
Adopted daughter gets,
kidnapped is because
because
this
she's a
Asian
clone.
dude, this Asian dude made the locusts and they messed up his DNA, so they need this girl to match her DNA to replace the locusts. And the leader guy is like, "No, we're just gonna kill her," and he's like, "Don't do that." It's just a bad storyline, bad plot. This movie's a 6.
They have my favorite dinosaur though. I
Wow.
was happy.
Yeah, it's just
Triceratops.
they have about 4 or 5
That's mine.
different plot lines, and they only finish one of them.
Dude,
No.
so you're basically saying that a bug
At
is
least they
the
didn't
main
create a new
problem of this
dinosaur.
movie?
No.
Yeah, yeah,
Matthew, you're really
that's what I'm
loud.
saying.
No. It's a good
Asian
movie.
dude creates a bug. They need the stepdaughter to create more bugs, and
No,
so they get
no,
all of these people together.
this Asian dude created a bug for like this company, but the bug he made had a bad like DNA swap,
Yeah,
so it ended up
so
killing
it
the
was just
crops.
rapidly
Yeah, but
reproducing.
yeah, but the DNA made it so it was killing everything. And the girl that they kidnapped, the mom, I don't know, she cloned her.
It's
So
the granddaughter from the original.
yeah, the
Yeah.
granddaughter from the original, yeah, it's her daughter, but she's not even her daughter. She's a
It's a
clone.
clone of her.
Right.
Yeah, and so
What?
they need her DNA to make a new bug to fix the crops. But the head guy of the science is like, we're not going to let you do that because they don't know that we're the one killing all these crops. We're just going to kill the daughter. And then they end up like shooting a bunch of bad guys in like some weird ass Tanzanian country. And then Alan and them are like, oh, can we get some corn nuts? And I'm going to go check out the locusts. And Jeff Goldblum's character is like a novelist. It's just a bad movie.
Wow, that sounds ass.
Garrett
Yeah.
explained some of that pretty badly. But let's
Watch
just
the
Either
movie.
way, dude, it sounds
Move on.
ass.
I
Move
give it
on.
a 7.8.
6.
Jesus Christ.
All
Yeah.
right. Next up is Hustle. Did you watch it, Garrett?
Fuck no.
The Adam Sandler movie? No.
Dude, did you completely like gloss over Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel?
Very.
We can just gloss over all 2 of those. We've
All right. Kenobi. Matthew loves it.
I love,
I-
bro. 8.9.
Matthew loves it, and I didn't even finish it.
8.2.
I
Has
fell
good
asleep during the
moments.
first
It was
episode.
boring to me for the most part.
Dude.
With good
I
moments.
fell asleep during the first episode and gave up on it.
I will say it has some of the best Star Wars moments, but
Every time Darth
Boring.
Vader was on the screen, I literally got chills.
He
You
creeped.
got a boner.
No, like he was that terrifying in the show that I got chill. Like you just hear his
Be
breathing,
honest.
and it just.
Be
We
honest.
didn't
Those
hear
chills were
that.
boner chills.
Okay. Barry. I know you guys didn't watch it, but it's fire. First episode's one. I wouldn't go that far.
Nah, you would.
No, I wouldn't give it a 9.5. It's like 9.1.
That's not that bad.
First episode, one of the best episodes I've ever seen of the show and TV period. The middle's kind of boring, but the finale goes crazy. But I love Barry.
Ben, we skipped over Young Justice.
Okay.
What
We
do you
only
give
two of you
it?
watched it.
What do you give it, Ben? I give it an 8.4.
7.5.
I really like
Season-
some of the scenes.
Most of the story arcs were boring to me. I think there was some good moments, but
Like the
I think it's the
Phantom
weak
arc.
boring. I think
Well, not the arc itself, but like when the team goes there.
it's the weakest season, but it's still
It had
good
some good
DC
points, yeah.
content.
I didn't like how it jumped every 4 episodes to a different arc.
Miss Marvel. No, Matthew
Didn't
didn't finish it.
it.
Miles, did you finish it?
Yeah.
I really liked the first 2 episodes, and then the show got really boring. I don't mind
I
it.
th- I th-
Boring.
yeah, I'm not I'm pretty similar to where it's like it's to me it's okay. I'll
7.7.
maybe watch it again if I want to do an MCU rewatch. But besides that, it's pretty lackluster. I mean, the ending's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to
Umbrella
see it with
Academy.
the Marvels.
I know you guys didn't watch Umbrella Academy. It's the worst season. Still a good season. CGI is awful at times, like worse than the CW.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah. But it has some of my favorite moments with some of the characters. So I still like it. Give it an
Alright.
8.4.
Next up is Lightyear.
Or Lightyear.
Garrett's
Can we
probably
You don't want to
keep
talk
Stranger
about it?
Things? No.
no,
Can we
hold
please
up.
keep Stranger Things for its own
Yeah,
episode?
we are. We are.
Okay. Because I'm thinking about it now. And we're glossing over these shows and all these little plot points, and I'm like, I need to go in depth
Oh, I
with
know
Stranger
we
Things.
all haven't watched the same shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's why
Well,
Or finished them.
Lightyear.
Haven't seen it.
Probably. No, not probably. It's easily the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire. No, I'm just kidding. Worst movie I've seen this year. This movie's at like a 4. So
Wow.
this movie, right? It's supposed to
No.
be about Buzz Lightyear, but the movie is a movie about Buzz Lightyear. So Buzz Lightyear does not exist. He's a movie character.
Yeah.
That's not
I
what it's
kinda
supposed to
figured.
be.
Yeah, it
Buzz
is.
Lightyear's supposed to be Buzz Lightyear's supposed to be a real guy. Andy says that he likes Buzz Lightyear. It's not supposed to be a movie guy. That's what it's supposed to be about.
Garrett.
It's a movie about a movie.
This movie is supposed to be what gets Andy into Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, but he's not supposed to be a movie. It's supposed to be
Yeah, it
about a
was.
movie about a real guy. Yeah, I know.
It was always
But
like
it was
movie. It was always a movie. It wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not
They
how
don't
Disney.
do black hole traveling in the real world.
Well, I
I know
know,
you're
but
gonna
this
say
is
they don't have talking toys, but
Or robot cats.
I don't know. Like the
I
way
mean,
Disney,
maybe.
but the way Disney was presenting this movie was
No.
they kept saying like, "Oh, this is the reason that Andy got into Buzz. This is why Buzz is so wildly loved." And then like it opens up and it goes, "This is the movie about Buzz Lightyear, the action hero." And then it's just like about a movie.
yeah,
But like in the way I'm watching this movie is like it's perceived like he's a real person. And then you overall think about it's like, "Oh, this is just a set. This doesn't happen." Like it just makes the movie so garbage.
really.
And Chris Evans, I didn't like his acting in it. Thought he was ass. I love the Chris Evans ass in this movie. What was her name? Kiki Palmer, ass. Just movie's ass. Just
She's
not
great in
good.
Nope, but we want to talk about Nope today.
The problem is that like with this, like with Lightyear, I watched the trailer when it came out, and I was like, "Wow, most anticipated movie of 2022." And then like I see all these reviews saying it's like mid as hell, and I'm like, "Damn it!"
And like the thing is like it pisses me off because Socks, right? He has no other relevance in the entire franchise, but he's like a main character in this movie. Where is he at in the rest of the franchise? That's what I'm saying. Like when they were making this movie, they were not thinking about how it's going to impact the Toy Story franchise.
Right.
Because like the other space commander, where is she at? The other
Mhm.
3 other space commanders, they have no relevance in this like universe, you know? Because you would think that like, okay, maybe they wouldn't be in the original Toy Story, but maybe they would be in Toy Story 3 since there was a bunch of other ones, like, you know. But like all
Also,
these other main characters that were in this movie have no relevance in just this one. You know what I mean? Like when they were writing this, they were definitely, how can we make this a Pixar movie, a solo film, and like how are we gonna impact the
it was
rest
pretty
of
much
the
just a money
toys?
grab.
Oh, for sure, duh. But and
What
t- and
every
and light
franchise movie
and
is?
Buzz Lightyear doesn't even look like his original style. Like he's completely different.
No. Anything
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's
about
I think that's kind of like the point, though, is that like he's like resembling a human person, not like
toy?
a fictionalized toy.
Well, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know?
But like that brings you back to my other point. Is like if if the toy is supposed to be based off the guy, why does the toy look different? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean,
You know, like why would they change the toy? Because you know what I mean. Like in the show, in the movie, obviously he has the wings that are part of him. But in this movie, he gets the space blaster, and then he gets the wings. Like they're not already on the suit. He adds them on.
that's
Well,
kind of
yeah.
dumb.
Well, that's like how toys work. Is toys come different than the movie? Because I remember
Well,
when
yeah, yeah.
Man of
It's
Steel came
just
out, there was so many toys of costumes that don't even appear in that movie, and there was like
mm,
toys with Superman gets a car, Superboy gets a gun, or not Superman gets a car, Superman gets a gun, and it's like it doesn't work. It's like, oh, what if he
yeah,
wears
I don't know.
this blue and gold suit? Doesn't wear that. Whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw like a lot of people were like, "Here's the OG toy and the new one they made," and I was like, "Okay, well, obviously they have to make a new revamp one that kind of looks like the Chris Evans's character." But
Yeah.
I just didn't like the fact how they went about making it a part of the franchise because this honestly is just a solo film that they just threw Lightyear on it. They really could have called this movie like Space Rangers, you know? Like this movie has nothing to, it the only relevance it has to Buzz Lightyear is the suit and that his name is Buzz Lightyear. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and are you guys gonna watch it?
I
Yeah.
plan
I will.
on doing it.
Oh fuck. Then never mind.
I
Never
already
mind.
know
I
about
won't tell you.
the thing, Garrett, at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's my
I
movie or it's my TV show.
Are
huh?
you for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know how many times I've seen that
Ben,
twist
sue
appear?
Disney. Sue Disney.
I'm
They
talking
stole your
about
idea.
no. There's a post
Yeah.
credit scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, the post credit scene. No,
I'm talking
we're
about the
I'm
twist of the movie is the twist of stuff I'm
Oh, okay.
writing,
Can I tell you,
and I
Miles? Will you be mad if I tell you?
I don't care.
Okay,
Ben,
Buzz
do you care?
Lightyear is Zurg.
I know the
I
twist. That's what I've been talking about.
Oh no, I'm talking Garrett. I'm
wait.
talking about the post credit scene.
Yeah, I know.
Does it have to do with all that like wormhole shit that they're like,
Yes,
oh, because he's traveling through time, he goes to the past and lives a
the
longer
Yeah,
hero
life.
the hero
That's
travels to the
bullshit.
future and finds the villain of the story is himself.
Bullshit.
Boo! They
yeah.
copied you,
Ben,
And
you
the
did
Ben.
it.
only
Ben, you did it better.
the only reason that he's doing it is because he's like, well, you can join me, and then he gets mad because Buzz Lightyear's like, I actually like the planet I live on. He's like, no, fuck you. I want to go back
That's
to
Ben's
Earth.
I
exact
knew that
storyline.
I knew the twist from like a month or so ago, and then I watched the clip like 2 days ago, and it just made me even more mad.
Yeah, it's
Damn,
just
that's so disappointing.
I've seen the
yeah.
same
Oh,
twist happen like 4 times this year.
Damn.
I'm writing something
it's
new.
4 out of 10 for sure.
All
I'll
right,
have to watch
Anything
it,
else
but
on
moving
that?
on.
damn,
All
Nope,
right. Next
just
up
poop,
is Spiderhead.
No one watched
didn't
it.
poop,
watch it.
I thought.
poop, poop,
Okay, we're not
poop.
talking about it because
Skip,
Garrett's just gonna go for another
skip.
20-minute rant. Did anybody watch the Black Phone?
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Neither have I.
Going to.
All right, Elvis, Garrett.
Sure.
Haven't watched it yet. I've
Haven't
heard
watched
it's
it yet.
so good.
I haven't
I
watched it
plan on
yet
Nine
watching
either.
it sometime this week.
9-7. I cried like a little baby.
Anybody watch The Man from Toronto?
Damn, so I can't even talk
No.
about Elvis, bro.
No, we haven't watched it yet, Garrett. You don't get to go for another
We didn't
20-minute
watch
rant.
Lightyear either.
Yeah, but we don't want another
Elvis
20-minute rant.
Elvis is one of the best biopics I've
But
ever
Elvis I
seen in
care
my
about. I don't care
goddamn
about
life.
Lightyear.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot wait for you guys to
Okay,
talk about Elvis, bro.
so from what I've understood from the trailer alone, I was like, okay, this is intriguing. And as I keep seeing it, I've heard people be very divided on this movie for some reason.
Bro,
People
for
like, "Oh,
Elvis?
it's not." Yeah, Elvis.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's
Elvis's trailer is 5% of the movie, and that's for someone who hates trailers.
yeah, because like it goes through his entire life pretty much, right?
Yeah, I've seen every Elvis biopic, and this is the best interpretation of it. It's so fucking good. Austin Butler is a top tier actor, and this movie showed it. Tom Hanks killed it as always. Like, I'm not gonna go too. It's just so good. I can't wait for you guys to watch it so we can talk about it. It's so fucking
Okay.
Anything else?
Mindset.
Because
What?
if that, huh?
The outfit.
I didn't
What
watch
is
it.
that? That's a show.
No, it's a movie.
From
You guys need to
So
watch
when
it.
did it come out?
It's on my watch list, Ben.
Came out in June. Or no, March.
It's got the nigga that plays Voldemort.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, is that not him? The guy that plays
No,
Voldemort?
that's not Ralph Fiennes. It's
Oh,
It's the guy who played the autistic guy in Ready Player One.
yeah,
oh,
Hayward.
that.
Or is his name
Oh,
Hayward?
Something weird.
The movie's
Zoe
fire.
Deutch is in it,
Very
right?
underrated. I give it she's in
yeah.
it. I give it an 8.3. It's a lot of fun,
I am not seeing this movie.
especially if you like Mafia. Um,
Can we talk about The Godfather?
No. Garrett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett was
That came
good.
out 2020. That came out 2021, right? Thought
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
it
still
concluded.
part
It
of it was
concluded this year. It concluded this year.
In
How
the
about
it
that,
was
first week of this year.
the last. No, it wasn't.
When was
dude?
it?
It went until like February, right?
Yeah, I think the last 2, 3 episodes were good, and that was because I had the Mandalorian.
Yeah. It was
Some of
just
the
made
Boba
that
Fett
fucking
stuff was
great.
cool. 2.5. The show is
Damn.
not a
Pretty,
2.5.
dude. No, it's pretty boring. Like besides the
It's
Mandalorian
Mandalorian
stuff,
season.
it's literally nothing else
It's a
special.
3.
Boba Fett's
8.3.
like a Boba Fett's not even a dictator. He's not even doing anything.
Yeah. It's not.
It's an
Yeah.
8.3.
It's mainly his enforcer doing everything.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought you were giving the show a 2.5.
No, I was
That's what I
calling it
thought at first. I'm like,
It's Mandalorian
what?
2.5.
I was like, Jesus, a 2.5? What the fuck?
No, I actually liked the Mandalorian stuff. But
I'll give
we
it a
all
5.
agree Stranger Things was great.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
gonna do
yeah.
an episode about that.
Yep.
The
It was like
greatest season of television I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm giving it a 9.5. Best
Giving it
Stranger
Oh,
Things season.
easy.
I'm giving it a 9.8.
9.5.
I can respect
Physically,
it.
seriously,
9.6.
not probably the greatest season of television I've ever seen in my life.
So
Cried.
apparently the
So-
Marcel the Shell with shoes on is already out,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
already came out.
but it's
I
not
need
at
to
the
watch
movie
it.
theater. It says it's only in theaters.
It's in some theaters. It's kind of what A24 does
But
because they're not a big
my
company.
the theater here literally like we have a thing for it, but we aren't showing it.
Yeah.
That's kind of dumb.
Okay. Garrett, did you watch Atlanta season 3?
Not all of it. I watched like the first 3-4 episodes.
Atlanta
I got too
season
busy
3.
with work.
I think it's the worst Atlanta season, but that's not saying that it's a bad show or a bad season. I thought it was fire because I binged all of Atlanta. It was
Very
it's
good.
pretty great. I love that show.
It's very,
And
very
then
good.
Atlanta
First 2
season
seasons.
4 also comes out this year.
Which is the last season, man.
Yeah. Donald Glover is a genius.
Oh, of course.
The Inside Outtakes, a sequel to Inside. I'm biased because I'm wearing an Inside shirt, but it was fire. Just a
You need
sequel.
to watch it.
You do. I think that's all I have on my list of everything.
That's seriously? No, I feel like we missed some movies. There's no way.
Well, we still have to talk about what we're most anticipated for the second half.
Damn, all right.
Jared, quit trying to flex.
I'm stretching, bro. You guys have chairs. I'm sitting on my bed. I got no back support.
Dude, no, my chair hurts my back. Like right in the
Oh,
middle.
yeah, at least you have a fucking chair.
All right.
I already have my most anticipated
Mo-
movies up and ready to go.
Or like
Most
So do I.
anticipated show comes out in 5 days. It's The Sandman.
Oh, I'm like, what movie? What shit?
It's gonna be fire.
Most
love Sandman.
anticipated. Oh, bro, we didn't talk about Euphoria season 2.
We don't need to.
It's good. It's
You're
alright.
the only one who's watched it completely, Garrett.
Yeah.
Sandman.
Because didn't you guys binge like the entire first season in like 2 days, and then like it took you like forever to finish the second
We didn't.
season, first episode?
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna finish it?
Ben's like, I don't fucking know.
No.
You said
I didn't enjoy the show that much.
Well, okay. So can I tell you what happens at the end then, real quick?
No.
Are you actually gonna watch it, Matthew?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
doubt it.
Bro,
But
then
okay.
mute me real quick, bro. I've been waiting to fucking say something about it.
Wait, but he's recording.
Fuck.
No.
Never mind. It's whatever. That shit's
Yeah.
fucking. Anyways,
Okay.
most anticipated show?
The Sandman.
I'm looking.
I
at
don't know.
shows.
I don't know if there's any like shows that I'm anticipated for because I don't really know any shows that are coming out.
Let me go to my bro.
She-Hulk.
Miles, what are you talking about? You posted that whole thing on
I am
Instagram.
Groot.
I don't watch TV, so probably none of this shit. Maybe like House of the Dragon, just because I fucked with Game of Thrones and I love
I've never
Khaleesi to
watched.
death.
Never watched Game of Thrones.
Khaleesi makes me Karimi. Sorry.
Hey yo.
Yeah, that shit's gas though. I think House of Dragons would be cool. I'm excited for Matt Smith to reprise this, not reprise, but just take on the role.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it, but if I out of any of them, I guess.
Oh, I guess She-Hulk does come out. Andor.
No.
Andor looks pretty good.
I'm not excited for either of them, but I'm still gonna watch them.
Yeah.
I just don't like watching TV anymore.
Dude, I can't. What's weird after like leaving college, movies are kind of hard for me to watch now
Dude.
because we're not actively trying to watch them on a daily basis.
Bro, what am
Watch
I?
on a daily basis.
Well, because we used to watch movies like at least once per day
Yeah.
I
for a
still watch
while.
one a day. I still watch one a day.
Well, with
That's what
work,
that's
it's
what I've
hard
been
for me to
doing.
do so.
Garrett, I'm
Not
Yeah,
new
you
ones,
your
but
most anticipated isn't Cobra Kai season 6.
oh shit, Cobra Kai season 6.
Mine's gonna
I
have
thought
to
it
be
was 5.
Rick and Morty season 6
True. I'm
No,
hyped
it's
for
not
that.
season 6. It's season 5.
or 5.
Yeah,
For
'cause I'm
Cobra
like, there's
Kai.
no way.
Rick and Morty
Actually,
season 5
no,
or season
fuck
6.
Cobra Kai season 5. My bad. That shit's gonna be dookie. The way they ended off season 4, that shit's gonna be so butt cheeks. I'm sorry. I love that show, but it's gonna be ass.
They're making another Walking Dead show.
They are.
Yeah.
What?
There's
Alright.
like, and then they're bringing back Rick for the Rick and Michonne for the next last. It's like a 6-episode series, to show you his final story.
Dude, I
He's
have
supposed to
my
get a movie.
I have my
I
movies
stopped
ready.
watching season 5.
Zootopia's getting a show.
Of course it
Really?
is.
Zootopia Plus.
Bro,
What?
get a Kai on that. He'll like that. Alright.
I would
I have my
to say
movies.
Mine is Rick and Morty.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have my movies too.
Sandman.
I think my movies are probably pretty easy to guess if you wanted to take a guess at them. There's
Blondie.
5 of them.
It's Blonde.
Don't worry, darling.
Knives Out 2.
I forgot that movie was coming out, but no. No,
I
it's
forgot that it was
Blonde,
coming out this year.
Blonde number 1, of course. Not just because of Anne. I think
looks cool.
this fuck off. My bad. I think this movie is going to be a better biopic than Elvis, but I still think Elvis will be better than this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the
I
trailers
think
and shit,
Blonde is. I'm hyped for Blonde, but I feel like it's gonna be decisive or divisive.
of
You're
course.
forgetting
I
about
think
a
it's going to
movie
be
that
very
comes out
controversial too.
in 4 days.
Bullet
Bullet Train. Bullet Train. That's number 2, bro. It's on the
Oh, I'm
list.
like, what movie comes out?
John
in
Wick on a
4 days?
train.
Bullet Train and then 3 Avatar Way of the Water. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm
The first
literally not
Avatar.
gonna go watch that movie.
The first Avatar was fucking great. James Cameron killed that shit. Then Don't Worry, Darling. I'm not excited for
Don't
Harry
Worry,
Styles to be on the
Darling?
screen again. I'm not excited for Harry Styles to be on the screen because I really don't give a shit about him being an actor. But I am excited for Florence Pugh because she looks good as fuck in that movie.
Yes.
Not even just appearance wise, but also acting
bro,
wise. She's gonna
What
kill
about
it.
Chris Pine?
Huh? Ass. Fucking dog shit. Don't even get me started, bro. Chris
Oh.
Basic, bro. And then Black Panther.
Garrett
Black
hit
Panther.
fine, confirmed.
All right. My number
Black
one.
Black Panther's my number 1 movie.
My number one is Don't Worry, Darling. When does
Bro,
Smile?
Ben, he's been saying this for months though. I don't know why Ben's looking that confused.
Yeah, dude.
I have not. That's like such a random movie for Matthew to be like, this is number 1.
I think I've heard him saying like 17 times. Dude, I can't wait for it to drop. I can't
Yeah.
wait for it to drop.
When does
I'm
this one
hyped
come
for
out
it.
officially? Smile. That trailer looks amazing.
I've never heard of it.
It looks so boring.
He liked Firestarter.
Not surprising.
Of course, Black Panther 2.
Yep. Almost cried. Trailer was
Um,
emotional.
it's a toss up between Dragon Ball Super hero movie and Spider-Man No Way Home, the more
Oh my
fun stuff
God.
version,
Shut up.
and then Avatar
What?
2.
They have another Spider-Man movie dropping?
It's more
It's an
scenes.
extended version.
It's Spider-Man No Way Home with like extended scenes.
But
Go
I'm also
watch that.
excited
Nigga.
for Black Adam.
Same.
That movie looks doo-doo. Oh shit. My
Based
bad.
off what they showed at Comic-Con, I wasn't as excited. It
I'm
looked boring.
not as excited as I was, just because I think there's cooler movies coming out, but I'm definitely watching it. I think
Yeah,
it's gonna
because
be
you
fun.
and I were hyped as hell when we watched DC Fandom last year when it was announced. We're like, oh my God, that looks awesome. Then now it just looks like, okay.
I
They
forgot
better do something
Avatar
cool
1
this
is
year.
getting re-released.
Quick hot take, bro.
Nobody cares about Avatar.
Dwayne The Rock has not produced a good movie in years.
For sure.
Skyscraper? Didn't watch
When's the last good Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie?
Did you say
That's a-
Fast
Skyscraper?
I
5.
haven't seen it.
When's the last good Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie?
Fast 5, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, Fast 5.
The first Jumanji.
Central Intelligence, that came out 2016.
Central
That's good.
Intelligence is funny.
It's funny, but
Never
like,
watched it.
But you get what
eh.
I'm saying? For someone who's paid so much, bro,
Fast
he makes
7.
fucking mediocre movies.
Yeah.
Fast
I mean, he's
7,
not
but
a-
he's only in there just to flex out of a cast. He's like, Daddy's
Yeah,
gotta
no.
get to work.
Hobbs and Shaw, ass cheeks.
Oh,
Don't
I'm
watch it.
kind of excited for the menu.
Me and you.
Oh, bro, have you guys seen The Bear on Hulu?
I haven't seen
No.
it, but I've heard it's great.
That shit's intense. I was
Cooking.
watching Seth Loves Films talk about it, and then I watched a few episodes, and I was like, ooh. You guys follow that guy, Seth Loves Films?
No.
No.
Bro, he's got some
Huh?
takes and a half. He thinks Stanley Kubrick is the best director out of Nolan, Kubrick, Tarantino, Scorsese.
What?
That's a take and a half. But the guy knows he knows what he's talking about. He's just got some shitty takes.
Man,
sounds
now
like a
I'm trying
film,
to
bro.
decide.
Yeah. He's also mad British.
I will say
He's-
that Wakanda Forever is probably my most anticipated movie, just because I want to see what they do for Chadwick.
Yep.
And then I'll probably say Shazam. Don't Worry, Darling. Amsterdam and Babylon.
Not bad.
No, Oppenheimer's driving next year, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. next
Same
year.
day as
Yeah.
Barbie.
That movie's gonna be
I'm gonna be in 2 places at once.
Double feature?
Double feature, bro.
double feature, bro.
Have any
What?
of you guys
Sounds like
seen
a plan.
the Invitation trailer or no?
No.
Yeah, I watched it
I didn't even
today.
know that was coming out.
It comes
I
out
watched it today.
26th of this month, Miles.
It looks
Really?
garbage, bro. The fucking first 30 seconds of the trailer's ass. She like pulls up to the house and this guy's got a creepy ass smile, and I'm like, bro, how do you not know this is about to be a horror movie? Just
It's like every other horror movie I've
I
ever
think you're
seen a
thinking
trailer
of
to.
Smile, not the
Huh?
Invitation, Garrett. I think you're thinking of
No, it's the chick
Smile.
with it's the light skinned chick, right, with the curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she goes to the mansion, and at the beginning she like gets the invitation and she goes there and she's like does this and the guy looks at it and he's like, welcome. Like, did you have your
Hey, yo.
invitation?
It's a weird trailer. Yeah, I will say it's quite a weird trailer, but I'm ready for it.
Quite a weird trailer.
Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro.
Yo,
That shit
no,
looks
wait, the
great.
other the Disney one comes out this year too. I'm pretty sure.
With Tom Hanks, yeah.
Yeah,
But Guillermo del Toro. That
dude,
one
when
looks
you
better.
first showed us the first images of that, I'm like, interesting.
You saw the trailer, right?
Yeah, I saw the trailer because you sent it to us,
It's
right?
got Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Alec Guinness.
Obi-Wan.
No, I'm not good.
No.
I'm good on that. I'll stay away
Not-
from that one.
He's dead, Ben. It's fine.
What?
He died in 2000,
It's
bro.
okay,
He's not.
Ben. It's
the
okay to
movie's
make fun of
getting
people if they're dead.
Matthew, I know he's
God.
dead.
Certain people.
He was already like 80.
Dude, yeah,
in Star Wars.
wasn't he almost in his 60s and like Star Wars came out?
Mm.
That guy was old.
Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Because
I haven't seen
Margot
that
Robbie,
before.
John David Washington, and Christian Bale.
Oh, bro, John David Washington. Can we talk about how underrated of an actor John David fucking Washington really is, bro?
Agreed.
Have you guys seen Malcolm and Marie yet?
No.
I've
No.
seen I saw a clip of it and oh my god.
Yes, bro. Yes.
I've seen
yes.
the trailer like 7 times though.
Bro. John David Washington and Zendaya on the screen is all I need to make me happy anymore. Bro,
Not on
he
it.
is so underrated, bro. He has such conviction on the screen, the way he portrays characters, and you guys know my fucking hatred for Tenet. But bro, even in Tenet, bro, I was like,
Great actor.
bro, phenomenal actor, bro. He is
What happened to
Denzel's
your
son.
dad's
Yeah,
Denzel?
like his
Yeah.
son, like his dad is Denzel.
His
So I
son,
mean,
his son's Denzel Washington.
yep, his son's Denzel Washington.
Crazy.
After him and his dad does a movie like fucking Training Day, and you're like, I should have expected this.
I mean, he was also, what was he? Was he a wide receiver for the Eagles? He was like a really good NFL player.
I have no idea. Probably.
Yeah, because he did
Denzel
some
does
stuff
some
before
shit
he
like that.
acted, and it was like in like some popular sports.
Yeah, he
You
was
know, I
in the
think I would.
NFL.
Yeah, probably on the Eagles or some shit like that. I don't know. Yeah. Have we talked about that? I feel like we can wrap up this pod and then
The
just
Eagles?
chat it up off. But
Yeah.
all right. Anything
can
else?
call it.
Any other movies?
Let me check.
Overall, I think the first half of this year it's been solid. It's probably been like an 8
Out of all
the
these ratings,
movies.
I think my average is an 8.5.
Yeah, I would say mine
Yeah,
was probably like an 8 to 7.5. I
Which is a
listed
good
them pretty
year.
high.
mine's
It's
like
a
an
good
8,
year.
8.7 probably in there.
I think 2019 might be the highest year though.
Oh yeah,
I
I
haven't
have no
seen the
idea.
trailer yet, but I'm kind of excited for Barbarian.
Barbarian.
I haven't seen the
Yeah.
trailer.
Just go watch The Northman. That's all you got to do. Just watch The Northman.
Go watch
No,
Hamlet.
no, Barbarian's not even about Vikings. It's a
It's
horror.
Just
Yeah,
go
it's
watch
about
The Northman.
barbarians.
No,
Just
No.
go watch The
it's
Northman.
about modern day, Ben.
What?
Just go watch The Northman, bro.
That's scary.
87 AD 879
All right.
Iceland,
All
the
right.
land of Russ.
That's
All
gonna
right,
wrap
well
up
that'll do
today's
it.
pod.
Yep, that's the first pod back in 3 months.
True.
Please tune in because we're definitely going to do this again. Because when me, Miles, and Matthew go back to college, Ben will not be joining us. So this will probably be the regular. So I
It's
hope you
not the
guys
same
enjoy.
setups
Because
from the three of us.
yeah, I had a lot of fun. So all right, boys. Until next time.